Xianxia's rampant words, the old man surnamed Du laughed. The kid doesn't know how high the heaven is. I'm afraid you're still breastfeeding when the old man is in the world. If you dare to speak so shamelessly, let's let the old man teach you how to talk to the elders. As soon as the voice fell, a scarlet light shot from the front. Xianxia narrowed his eyes, and instinctively sensed that the danger was coming, but he clearly didn't see any signs from the old man named Du, and he didn't know what the attack was. Suspicious in his heart, but no time to find out, he took out the purple shield and placed it across his chest in a hurry. Boom! From the ground, a loud noise came out. With a violent head-on attack, Xianxia couldn't help but step back for several steps, his chest tumbling with blood. Although it was fine, he was very afraid of this strange attack. Because the power contained in this hit is really too great. If you change to a person with a slightly weaker physical quality, even if you have a purple shield protection, I am afraid you will suffer a lot. When the old man surnamed Du saw the purple shield, he couldn't help showing a fiery look in his eyes, and exclaimed, "Void grade high-rank defensive artifact." He is very attentive, and he can see the extraordinary part of this purple shield at once. Originally, when the purple shield was first refined, it was only a void grade low rank, but after being refined by Xianxia several times and repaired by adding materials, it became a void grade high rank. Artifact of this level are rare items on the Shadowed Star. The old man with the surname Du has a high status in 10,000 Beast Mountain, and his cultivation level is a second-order void return stage. But he only have a void grade middle rank, which he got by chance and found from an ancient ruins. Xianxia's Saint King realm unexpectedly took out the artifact of void grade high rank, and it was of the defensive type. This made him envious, and at the same time he became greedy. If this kid can be killed this time, then this artifact will belong to him. The elder Xianxia only wanted the profound gold, but he didn't say he wanted the belongings of this kid. Moreover, the other party has such a high-end artifact. As soon as he shot it, God knows if he has anything better. Thinking of this, the old man named Du has a fiery heart. Murderous intent flashes in his eyes. With a movement of spiritual mind, another scarlet light blasted towards Xianxia. Xianxia didn't dodge this time either. It wasn't that he was a big one, but he wanted to know where the attack came from. Spiritual mind was urged to the extreme, watching without blinking. After a while, he couldn't help showing a look of surprise, because he found that the scarlet light attack, it wasn't the method of the old man of 10,000 Beast Mountain, but the tongue popped out of the blue-eyed blood toad under his seat. No wonder there is such a strong force. This blue-eyed blood toad is a 9th-order monster beast, and its tongue is one of the most flexible parts of its whole body. It is understandable that it can shake itself back. As soon as Xianxia saw the clues, the scarlet tongue hit the purple shield again, but this time Xianxia was prepared for it. His body swayed slightly to counteract the force. When he was about to strike back, he saw a triumphant smile appeared on the face of the old man surnamed Du on the opposite side, and he stretched out his hand and patted the blue-eyed blood toad under his seat. Saint Chi continuously poured into its body, and shouted, "Come here." At the same time, Xianxia felt a huge suction from the shield in his hand, dragging himself forward. Looking fixedly, Xianxia's eyelids twitched, and he discovered that the scarlet long tongue of the green-eyed blood toad actually gave birth to countless tiny suction cups. It is with these suction cups that its long tongue can hold the purple shield and then drag it back. The old guy actually wants to seize his own secret treasure. Xianxia instantly understood the other party's intentions, sneered in his mouth, a dark demon flame appeared in his hand, and a violent heat revealed from the demon flame, and he directly grabbed the scarlet long tongue. The kid is looking for death. Seeing this, the old man named Du was not only not angry, but was overjoyed. The blue-eyed blood toad he raised in captivity was not only rough and thick but extremely resistant to fights, and at the same time, it was poisonous everywhere. Not to mention the long tongue. A Saint King realm actually wants to grab the poisonous tongue of the blue-eyed blood toad with his hands. It is simply killing himself. Stabbed. A weird sound came out, and there was also a burnt smell. The green-eyed blood toad's poisonous tongue was grasped by Xianxia, and the demon flame rolled over half of the tongue. There was an anthropomorphic pain in the two eyes of the blue-eyed blood toad, and the cheeks bulged, making a loud noise. How is it possible? The old man surnamed Du showed a look of horror. He never expected that his monster beast would suffer a big loss in this confrontation, but if the other party had suffered nothing, he watched the dark flame along its tongue, like a prairie fire. The fire ignited toward him, and the old man surnamed Du finally realized that it was wrong. The black fire on the other side seemed extraordinary. Not only was he not afraid of poison, it was also extremely difficult to deal with. Immediately he gave an order to his monster beast in his heart, and the green-eyed blood toad immediately released the purple shield that had been sucked, and at the same time recovered the scarlet long tongue. In the blink of an eye, the long poisonous tongue disappeared, and the green-eyed blood toad's cheeks bulged a few times, and then opened its mouth wide, spitting out a mouthful of black blood. Dared to hurt my monster beast. The old man surnamed Du is eager to split. He thought it was a good show to kill people and win treasures, but he didn't want to steal chickens only to lose a rice, and after drawing the black fire into its belly, the monster beast, who was dependent on each other, was obviously injured. Pointing his hand while furious, the lumpy pustules on the blue-eyed blood toad suddenly burst innumerably, and bursts of colorful and unpleasant venom were shot from the inside. The venom was slightly twisted in midair and turned into branches. In the form of a small arrow, it shot towards Xianxia. Xianxia showed a solemn look. Even if he hadn't tried it, he knew that these venoms were not easy to contaminate. When he looked cold, he threw out a small furnace. Void King grade item refining furnace. As soon as the refining furnace appeared, it exuded a monstrous heat, and it turned into a furnace tripod as high as several feet, accompanied by the sound of bird cry. The fiery bird item spirit flew out from it with its elegance, a fiery glow burst out of its mouth, and greeted the countless poisonous arrows. The firelight and the poisonous liquid touched, the sound of piercing was endless, and for a while they were evenly matched. The old man surnamed Du's face changed again, looking at the fiery bird item spirit with a greed and fear, didn't know what he was thinking. However, Xianxia was calm and relaxed, a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, and the strength of item spirit was much stronger than before, and there should be no problem dealing with a ninth-order monster beast. An astonishing attack of malevolent aura suddenly slashed from the front, but the old man named Du saw that his monster beast was entangled and couldn't get away. He took the initiative to shoot at Xianxia. The one-handed axe in his hand was slamming at this moment, and it smashed casually with a black light. Facing the opponent's artifact's might, Xianxia naturally didn't dare to be careless. Although he was fighting here, and his Saint Chi flow would be suppressed, but the opponent is still a second-order void return stage. Facing this kind of enemy head-on, it was the first time for Xianxia. Between the 10 fingers, the demon flames flew out in response, and these demon flames, under the control of Xianxia's spiritual mind, shook slightly, and suddenly transformed into the appearance of birds, and greeted them one after another. Chi control technique? The old man's surnamed Du eyelids jumped. He actually saw such a clever technique of controlling the chi from the hands of a third-order Saint King. If it was him, he could not control the Saint Chi to this peak, let alone the Saint King realm. But the reality was before him, and he couldn't help but believe it. The flying bird transformed by the demon flame merged with the evil light in an instant, and after the rumbling sound, both disappeared. What about proficient in controlling Saint Chi? In front of the old man, you can only let me kill you, boy. The old man surnamed Du looked sullen, and an invisible force centered on him when he roared. Wrapped Xianxia in it. A feeling of stagnation spread, as if even moving a finger is extremely difficult. Moreover, it is the power of the second-order void return stage cultivator, which is much stronger than the first-order realm. This alone, the old man with the surname Du was not satisfied. After suppressing Xianxia with force, he threw the one-handed axe in his hand forward, shot a Saint Chi into it, and shouted in a low voice, "Go!" After the one-handed axe absorbed the old man's saint chi, more malevolent aura suddenly gushed out from it, and the axe itself was shaking, turning into a pitch-black python that was more than 10 feet long. The giant python shook its head and waved its tail, fiercely opened its mouth wide, and quickly flew towards the place Xianxia was standing, seeming to swallow him in one bite. The old man with the surname Du showed a hideous smile. As a second-order void return stage, he had to do his best to deal with a third-order Saint King, which really annoyed him, but compared with the possessions of this kid, this time it's worth the shot. He had a confident face, ready to watch the scene of Xianxia's body being broken. Several golden lights suddenly flickered. Immediately, golden lights filled the entire sky, and under the cutting of this golden light the old man named Du felt his condensed momentum, as if countless pebbles were left behind on a calm lake. Soon it becomes chaotic, and can no longer suppress the opponent. This kid can even break the Shi of Void return stage. Moreover, the golden light looked faintly familiar, but the old man surnamed Du couldn't remember where he had seen it. This is not to blame for his ignorance. It is true that the golden blood thread cultivated by Xianxia is very different from that of the demon blood sect. Although they are from the same origin, the people of the demon blood sect do not have such a unique advantage as Xianxia. Condensing the demon blood thread is to use some tricks to increase the power of one's blood, or directly absorb the blood essence of the enemy. In this way, although it can also increase the power of the demon blood thread, it is somewhat miscellaneous and impure, and it also gives people a feeling of eerie and secretiveness. But Xianxia's golden blood thread was transformed by the golden blood in his body. It was extremely pure and more orthodox than the demon blood thread. If the middle-aged man from the demon blood temple came, he might be able to see the clues, but the old man named Du would not have such good eyesight. To be continued.